So let's have more on that interview that Donald Trump gave to CBS News, giving a lot of pause to think about his policies and what he has been doing since his 100 days in office began. We can cross now to Daniel Shaw, who's a public affairs expert and professor at the City University of New York. Good to have you on the show, Daniel. So after the show of force in Syria, aggressive moves in the Korean Peninsula, Donald Trump, he seems to be suddenly admitting he had his fears about killing the wrong people. He's never held office. He's never been a politician before. Is the enormity of what he's done, you know, people died in the Syrian strike, including civilians, is the enormity of his position hitting home here, and perhaps he's turning, you know, a little bit more softer here?
Well, a broken clock is even correct twice a day, to use the old saying. It's certainly strange to hear a U.S. president to feign concern or fake concern for the lives of Syrians or the Arab world or the Middle East after the successive presidencies of Bush Sr. and then Clinton and Obama and Bush Jr. Attacked without restraint Iraq and Afghanistan, the war against Yemen and Libya. So it certainly did sound strange for Trump to have that candid moment where he admitted just how many civilians have been affected by U.S. bombing and intervention.
With the North Korean threat, if we can just focus on that for a moment, taking center stage in the media, Donald Trump gave a pretty vague answer, really, on the possibility of taking military action, saying that we'll see. Is there a plan in place? Because, you know, when you think about it, you're talking about nuclear weapons, you're talking about a lot of actors from around the world involved in this situation. It could be devastating. Does he have a plan in place, or is this just giving him time to try and develop one?
Trump has the same plan that's been in place with every U.S. presidency to topple the government in the DPRK, or North Korea. North Korea's true crime, like the true crime of Syria, is that it's not completely dominated and recolonized by the U.S. It has nothing to do with human rights violations or nuclear weapons. That's just the convenient excuse. And they'll stop at nothing. They're threatening, in the words of Pope Francis, half of humanity with another potential war. And the U.S. media is playing a predictable role, really preparing the American public for another war, trying to paint the North Koreans as though they were the aggressors. But who could ever believe that? Who has North Korea ever attacked? In fact, it was the Korean Peninsula themselves that lost about 4 million to 5 million lives from 1950 to 1953 with the U.S. war of aggression against Korea. So we know who the victims have historically been.
Wish we could talk to you longer on this situation. A lot of interesting points to make there. Daniel Shaw, public affairs expert and professor at the City University of New York. Thank you.